Hi, guys. Hope you're having a great weekend. Um, I am. I'm making this video on Saturday night, and today I've watched tons of college football and watched my grandson, so my weekend's going well. I got three programs I want to run through fairly fast. If I go through it too fast, I would suggest that you use the pause and really just watch these programs. All of them use these logical operators that we talked about on Friday. All right. This first one, on the surface, it looks a lot like a program that I ran through, I think, last Thursday, as far as you entering a score and given a grade. Except this uses the logical operators to tell if you entered a number out of bounds. Before, if you remember, we entered a number and it said A, B, C, but we didn't have anything to stop us from putting a number on there like 103 or -13 or something like that. This now checks for bad um, entries by using the logic. Well, I'll go down to it. It uses the logical and operator. All right, so this is pretty much what you remember. It's in A score 90, B score 80, C score 70, blah blah blah. But we got something new here. We got min score 0 and max score 100. All right, int test score. We're going to ask the user right here to enter a numerical grade, and then we're going to assign it. I'm sorry, yeah, a numerical grade, and then we're going to assign it a letter. Right? Here's how we're using the logical and, all right, to validate this. Right? If test score is greater than min score, which is 0, greater or equal to 0, and the test score is less than or equal to max score, which you can see up at the top of the screen is 100. So this will only check the grades A, B, C, D, F if it's greater than a 0 or less than 100. Right? If it's not one of those, this whole thing tests false. Suppose I put in a -13. Now let's just say 101. I put 101. This is going to be false. 101 is not greater than min score and less than max score. So then it's going to go straight down to the else, and it's going to see out that's an invalid score. Run the program again, enter a value in the range of min score, which is 0 to 100. So let's run this, test it real quick. We're going to test it first with a number that we know works. Let's put in a 78, which should give us a C, and it does. All right, now let's test it out of bounds. -3. That is an invalid score. Run the program again, enter a value in the range of 0 to 100. Let's run it one more time. Let's run it out of bounds high now. 103. And it gives us our out of bounds number again, or out of bound message again. Key line in this is the test, logical operators, the and logical operator. This line here, if it tests within these boundaries, you're going to assign a letter grade. If it tests outside and this is false, it drops all the way down here and does the else statement. All right, that was program 1 I wanted to go over. Like I said, I've got 3 of these. All right, let's go on down first before I even talk about this and see that we're going to use the logical or. Remember, or is just one of these things has to be true. So what I'm going to do is, for somebody to qualify for a loan, they have to make at least $35,000, or they have to be in their job 5 years. So they have to be financially secure or a steady income person, somebody that has a steady income. That's what the banks, that's real life. That's what banks look at, that kind of thing. So we make a double income and an integer in years. All right. We're going to prompt the user to ask, what's your annual income? Then we're going to ask, how many years? It's going to be a whole number. We made it an integer. How many years have you worked at your current job? All right, here's the logical or here. I'm going to stop. All right. If income is greater than min income, which was 35,000. All right. Or the years is greater than min years. So min years was 5. So make sure I'm saying, yeah. So somebody's going to have to be in their job at least 6 years. That's an equal sign. That's not equal to or greater than. That's a greater than sign. So if they meet one of those two conditions, this is the logical or right here. One of those two conditions is going to, boom, you qualify. All right. If they don't meet either condition, then it's going to go down here and see out. You must earn at least the minimum income, which I think was 35, or been employed the minimum years, which was 5. Okay, let's run this. What's your annual income? So we're going to meet it this time. It's going to be 40,000. And it doesn't matter because we know we've already met with 40,000. It really doesn't matter how many years we've worked on the job. Let's say we've just worked there 1 year. Remember, min years was 5. Doesn't matter. Right? We qualify. My ID's been messing up some tonight. All right, let's run this again. Uh-oh. Something's messed up. I'm going to close this. Okay, I got my local Windows debugger. So we're going to just run this again as soon as the little whirly thing stops whirling. All right, let's say we only earn about $19,000 a year. But we're steady in our job and we've been working there 9 years. So one of the two conditions have been met. And this did it again, right? It says you qualify. So that's the or right there. Just one of these two things have to be met. But we're going to run this one more time. We're having technical difficulties tonight. Loan. It's wanting to give me an output window. All right. What's your annual income? This person earns $30,000, which is below the limit. And he's only been at his job 3 years. We hit enter. Neither condition is. So you must earn at least $35,000 or have been employed 5 years. Okay, so neither condition have been met. So it's false and it kicks out. All right, we've got one more program to run. I'm going to get out of Visual Studio for just a second and bring it back up. The last one is a characters program. this had a little something extra I wanted to bring up. Characters have a value. All right. Remember the ASCII value that we dealt with maybe very first day. All right. When you declare something a character, it's anything on your keyboard can be a character. All right. A 3 can be a character. A question mark can be a character. An ampersand, a plus, a caret. Anything can be a character. There's a certain range. All right. So for this one, nothing special here. Using namespace and IOStream. I'm going to make a char ch. Okay. I'm going to see out enter a digit or a letter. Then I'm going to cn.get, which is the same thing as cn, and I'll explain more in detail later what cn.get does. But it works a lot like cn, but it works better with this program with cn.get. Don't worry about this. I'm not going to be asking you to do this right away. Right? So if char is greater than equal to a 0, and that's not a 0, this is reading this as like 1000111. It's reading it as an ASCII value. And if you remember, all the ASCII values were in a row. So if char is greater than equal than 0 and it's less than or equal to 9, the character 9, not the number 9, not an integer 9, you entered a digit. Else if char is greater than or equal to capital A and char is less than or equal to capital Z, and you notice the single quotation marks around these, then you entered an uppercase letter. Okay, all of these are in a range. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are in a row of characters. Then there's a run of characters A through Z, A being less than Z, right? And then you want to enter out. You entered an uppercase letter. Then we get down to the lowercase letters. Char is greater than or equal to character A, and char is less than or equal to lowercase z. All of these 26 in a row, all these lowercase characters in a row, where numerically ASCII value A is less than Z, B is less than Z, C is greater than B. I mean, it's just what you'd think intuitively. All right. Then, if those three conditions, numbers, uppercase, lowercase, then if it's none of those, you didn't enter a digit or a letter. And we'll run it like that. I'll run it with a special character too to show you. So let's run this. I'm going to enter an 8, and it should say you entered a digit. I'm going to enter a capital K and hit enter, and it says you entered an uppercase letter. I'm going to enter a lowercase c. You entered a lowercase letter. Now I'm going to enter something, a different character. It's only checking these three ranges: numbers, all the integers. They're not integers. All the keyboard characters 0 through 9. Then it's checking the uppercase and it's checking lowercase. I'm going to give it a special character. Let's do a question mark. This is not a digit or a letter. Okay. Take a look how this code's written. Just put the cn.get in your memory banks because it's something that will come up, but I'll explain it in more detail later. All right, guys. Hope you all have a great weekend. The question for this is going to probably be, well, I know it's going to be a logical operator question. Have a good weekend, guys, and I'll see you all on Monday.